Alright, so before we start this video, I want to acknowledge the decision of who rules Ferelden. Of course, we are going to finish up our companion stories first, but once we get to the Landsmeet, I have a feeling that being iffy from the start probably will end up giving us an outcome that we don't like, since everything will probably tie it together. That being said, there are three main options for our playthrough. I know there's also an option for me to marry Alistair and be queen, but I don't like that option for a number of reasons, and about 20 of those reasons involve Leliana and I's potential post-blight vacation. Okay, so moving on to the options here, and please don't judge my drawings. You know, I did them in a rush here, but whatever, you get the idea. So, there's three main options for our playthrough. The first one involves Alistair being king and Anora basically rotting in jail, for all we know. The second option is that Anora and Alistair end up marrying each other, creating a union between them, and they basically rule together. And then the last option is Alistair stays Grey Warden and Anora remains as queen. So basically, how things were basically going this whole time, right? So before diving into each of these options here, I did want to go ahead and talk about each individual person, which is Alistair and Anora. So starting with this doofus. In our playthrough, he's apparently unhardened, right? Which is sad to me because I wasn't even aware that hardening him was an option anyway. Apparently, in our dialogue with Goldana, which is his sister, we were supposed to say everyone's in it for themselves instead of being all nice and saying we're homies. Of course, I went with the homie option, and apparently, there's no other way to harden him. Kinda hate this and love this at the same time because it's realistic and very thought out to have one option determine something major like this because that's how the world works, but it also kind of fucking sucks. I feel like there were so many other opportunities to harden him, and at this point, this bitch should be hardened anyway. But of course, I do also believe that over time he will get hardened, similarly to how Liliana ends up being hardened regardless of Dragon Age origins. Anyway, I digress. This bitch is basically soft. So this basically means that he does not want to be king, right? And neither will he be a good king on his own. Of course, he will have his advisors with him, mostly being Arl Eamon, but ultimately he won't be doing much in the beginning. At the same time, though, we know that he's a good person, and we also know that he continues the bloodline, which may or may not cause less controversy with the nobles. Moving on to Anora. We know that she's experienced in rule, right? She's basically been ruling instead of King Kaelin most of the time, according to what I understood from the lore. Nobles also love her, which is good. However, she is a bit morally corrupt. She's also manipulative and calculative, right? Not to mention, she also adores her father, who, as we know, is an asshole, right? So, that being said, let's look at our three options again, right? And it's something I also want to say before we actually dive into each option. And there's three things that I'm generally looking for when it comes to this decision, right? So that's going to be Alistair's character growth, Alistair's happiness, and of course, the world state. And this is probably the order in which I value each thing. The reason why I value world state the least is because no matter what the fuck happens, it'll probably be fine, right? Like, yeah, there might be some differences between each one, and some of them might suck, right? Like, some things will be like, oh my god, I really wish that didn't happen, right? But ultimately, it'll probably end up generally leading to the same thing anyway, because I really doubt that BioWare is going to make that much of a difference in the future regarding who is ruling, right? So it's like there's probably going to be pros and cons to each one, but ultimately it'll lead to the same world state, right? At least that's what I think. Now, above that is Alistair's happiness because he's my homie, right? I want him to be happy. He's a real good guy. We're best friends. So I don't want him to like fucking hate himself. However, I value that a little less than his overall character growth. I feel like in stories, creating character growth, even if the character doesn't necessarily like it, always strengthens the likability of that character for me, right? Knowing that they overcame some of their flaws and became a better person or whatever the fuck, right? And as we know, Alistair's main flaw is that he acts like a little bit of a baby. That's partly my fault because I unhardened him, but regardless, I feel like no, even if he was hardened, he still kind of acts like a baby a little bit. So let's finally dive deep into the first option where Alistair is king and Anora is basically fucking executed or thrown in jail. The bad thing about this is that Alistair is softened, meaning can't rule alone. And then another thing to consider is this outcome only really makes sense in terms of bloodline and emotional attachment to our character because we like him. Now, this being said, he does have advisors that will help him. So even though he's not really a good ruler, it basically relies upon his advisors anyway. And another thing to consider is that he probably ends up hardened either way. Or if not hardened, at least somewhat capable of doing his job, right? At least we can hope so. At least that's what I'm hoping. However, we can't deny that overall this is basically just due to the bloodline. And I just feel like that doesn't justify Nora dying or being in prison. It just doesn't make sense to me, right? Like what? Like I'm sure like because at this point when I'm making this video, I haven't even started LANDSMEET yet, right? This is just based off what I already know, which is still very limited. So I don't know what the fuck this bitch is gonna do. I don't know if she actually is a really bad fucking person or whatever, but from what I've seen so far, I just don't see why she should be executed, right? She's basically been ruling for Eldon this whole fucking time anyway, and we're punishing her due to her adoring her father, which is fucked up, but it just doesn't really suit anything for me. So now if we look at this whole thing and we compare it to all these criteria here, right? So I'd say for this, the world state is pretty negative. That doesn't mean it's bad, right? It's still going to be okay because there's advisors to help him, there's his friends to help him. You know, he'll end up fine, you know, no matter what happens. But generally, because of the way he is, because he's softened and all this other crap, he basically is not creating an ideal world state. So that's why I'm putting this as a negative, at least in my opinion, right? This is just my opinion. Alistair's happiness also is pretty fucking bad because he doesn't want to be king. He doesn't even want to be here. This is like he's being forced to do this shit that he doesn't want to do, so he's not happy. That being said, he also gets to explore the world and do whatever the fuck he wants, which I never see a problem with that. But generally speaking, he's going to end up alone. He's basically alone, right? So that's not good. However, his character growth, I think, will probably skyrocket with this option, right? Because he's going to learn how to be a better person, right? He's going to learn how to hopefully overcome his flaws. And this will hopefully overturn his happiness and make it from a negative to a somewhat neutral state, right? Because you never know, maybe he'll find a mistress or something and he'll like fuck around and find out, you know, you never know. So, but simply because these two are still negative, other scenarios would also enhance his character growth. I'm leaning towards probably not for this one. Alright, so now let's look at the other side of the extreme, which is Anora ruling and Alistair being Grey Warden. I know that he could probably also get executed, but obviously we're not picking that option, so whatever. In this scenario, everything goes back to normal. It was fine the way it was anyway, right? So that's not a bad thing at all. We also know that Anora is a good ruler. It's Gucci. However, we also know that even though she's a good ruler, she's kind of iffy when it comes to her character. She's also very influenced by her father, and we also don't know much about her. So it's kind of like all over the place, right? We're basically essentially letting this bitch rule. Okay, so now if we look at this little chart here. So the world state, based on what we know, probably going to be neutral. The reason I say neutral is even though Anora is a good ruler, we don't know fucking shit about her. And we also know she's morally gray. And we also know that she's the daughter of Logan, who is a bitch, right? So overall, it'll probably be fine. It'll be definitely better than if Alistair was just king. But overall, it's just like all over the place. Like we don't really know what's going on. Alistair's happiness, however, will be pretty solid. He probably wouldn't like that Anora's ruling, but he gets to do whatever the fuck he wants. He gets to stay Grey Warden, so I'd say it's pretty good. However, his fucking character growth, terrible. Like, come on, dude. You ain't doing shit. You're just like, what the fuck, right? So, and then on top of all this, there's also one other thing that I have to mention about this. Now, as you know, I did play Dragon Age Inquisition before I started this playthrough. And even though I don't remember much, there is one thing that I know will happen from doing this decision, right? And I'm not going to spoil it. I'm not going to spoil it. But just know that I don't like it. Okay? Has nothing to do with the world state or anything like that. If you know, you know. But just because of this, it really influences me to say fuck you to this option here. So finally, we're gonna go to the remaining option here, which is Alistair and Anora ruled together. Now let's start off with the negatives. Alistair basically gets pimped out. He is essentially marrying a woman he does not love. However, I will argue that this is kind of neutral because he could probably still fuck around with mistresses and shit. I mean, you never know. Maybe he'll find some hot bitch, use protection. But regardless, it's not really, I mean, it's bad. He doesn't have anyone anyway. So this is kind of like whatever to me at this point. It still sucks. Still sucks. It's kind of whatever though. Now, in terms of the positives, they balance each other out. He is softened, so this might take a while. It might take a while before they can actually balance each other out because I have a feeling that Anora's not going to like this shit, right? She's not going to like marrying this guy who basically is not doing jack shit. But I feel that this eventually leads to them appreciating each other. And if anything, even if Anora still hates him, it at least secures the bloodline, which causes the least amount of conflict with the nobles, right? Because everyone already loves Anora, right? And on top of that, they're continuing the bloodline. So I feel like this kind of causes the least controversy. And it also helps produce an heir. But I'm not really sure about this because I feel like Alistair's infertile because of the blight. So, but I don't know. I'm just going to put that out there. So then if we look back at our chart here, the world state, in my opinion, is pretty good, but not that good. Pretty good because they balance each other out, but it's not as good because he's softened. But like I said, he'll probably grow out of it. His happiness, I would argue, is pretty neutral because at least he doesn't rule alone. He won't like it. He definitely won't like it, but now he has his advisors and Anora. There is a chance Anora is just going to push him around and shit. But honestly, this kind of factors out for me only because this will also increase his character growth, right? So I'm not really seeing a negative here. And that is why at the end of this entire shit, we are going with this option. All right? Those are my reasonings. Please don't hate me. That's just what's happening. Anyway, so right now we just finished all 3 companion quests for Sten, Shale, and Ogren. And now we can finally do the Landsmeet. Now, if you did skip the whole introductionary piece with who I'm going to pick, like, to rule for the Landsmeet, long story short, it's going to be Alistair and Anora. I'm basically pimping out Alistair, and he's not going to like me for it. But it's for the greater good. And also it's for him, whether he likes it or not. You know, I did give him this cool knight armor though, so hopefully he forgives me, but we'll find out sure enough. Time to do politics. Alright, homie. I'm ready. Let's do it.
I understand you've acquired all the allies you could. That's good. We can call the Landsmeet if you are ready. I would prefer not giving Loghain time to consider, but it is up to you. I do not wish to go to Denerim unless you are with me.
I'm ready to go. Let's go to Denerim now.
Excellent. I shall make the arrangements. Let us be off to Denerim, and may the Maker watch over us. Denerim is the heart and soul of Ferelden. It was the city of King Calenhad, the birthplace of Andraste. As stubborn as a Mabari, and as good to have on your side. If we defeat Loghain here, the rest of the nation will follow us. By calling the Landsmeet, I've struck the first blow. The advantage, for the moment, is ours. He will have little choice but to show himself, to oppose us directly. He will strike back at us. The only question that remains is how soon. Loghain, this is an honor that the Regent would find time to greet me personally.
How could I not welcome a man so important as to call every lord in Ferelden away from his estates, while a blight claws at our land?
The blight is why I'm here. With Cailan dead, Ferelden must have a king to lead it against the Darkspawn.
Ferelden has a strong leader. Its queen. And I lead her armies.
If Anora rules, let her speak for herself.
Ah, the Grey Warden recruit. I thought we might meet again. You have my sympathies on what happened to your order. It is unfortunate that they chose to turn against Ferelden.
I don't accept the sympathies of deserters and regicides.
You should curb your tongue. This is my city, and no safe place to speak treason. For anyone. There is talk that your illness left you feeble, Eamon. Some worry that you may no longer be fit to advise Ferelden.
Illness? Why not call your poison by its true name? Not everyone at the Landsmeet will cast aside their loyalties as easily as you and these sycophants.
How long you've been gone from court, Eamon? Don't you recognize Rendon Howe, Arl of Amaranthine and Terran of Highever?
And current Arl of Denerim, after Urien's unfortunate fate at Ostagar. Truly, it is an embarrassment of riches.
Hi, how? I'll fucking kill your bitch ass. You fucking murdered my family. Enjoy your moment. It will end soon enough.
You are either very bold or very stupid to threaten the Ten before witnesses.
Enough, Carthrian. This is not the time or place. I had hoped to talk you down from this rash course, Eamon. Our people are frightened. Our king is dead. Our land is under siege. We must be united now if we are to endure this crisis. Your own sister, Queen Rowan, fought tirelessly to see Ferelden restored. Would you see her work destroyed? You divide our nation and weaken our efforts against the Blight, with your selfish ambitions to the throne.
What efforts can there be when you outlaw the Grey Wardens?
Cailan depended on the Grey Warden's prowess against the Darkspawn, and look how well that ended. Let us speak of reality rather than tall tales. Stories will not save us.
I cannot forgive what you've done, Loghain. Perhaps the Maker can, but not I. Our people deserve a king of the Theron bloodline. Alistair will be the one to lead us to victory in this blight.
Oh, is that all I have to do? No pressure.
The Emperor of Orlais also thought I could not bring him down. Expect no more mercy than I showed him. There is nothing I would not do for my homeland.
Well, that was bracing. I didn't expect Loghain to show himself quite so soon.
What do we do now?
Calling the Landsmeet is only the start. Now we must ensure that every noble there sees Loghain's duplicity. We have no small task ahead of us. We need eyes and ears in the city. Loghain has been here for months. The roots of all his schemes must begin here. The sooner we find them, the better we can turn them to our advantage. Go have a look around, and see what you can turn up. Better yet, find the nobles who have arrived for the Landsmeet. Test the waters. See how many will support us. When you're ready to talk strategy, come upstairs to my sitting room. We can lay out our plans for the Landsmeet then.
Oh, Shayla's here. Let me talk to her.
Everything in here appears to be breakable. It seems most impractical.
Oh, okay, so it's like all my companions are with me. There's Wynn.
This is a nice estate, isn't it?
Stifus.
Right here, old pal.
If one more servant asks if I would like a change of clothes, I will set the house on fire.
This is not as defensible as I would like, but it will do.
Alright, what about you, Potato? He barks happily, wagging his tail. Want to be sure I explore everything.
Ah, Warden. I trust you've made yourself comfortable.
Yes, very nice.
Good, because it's likely to be your last rest for a while. This is Elena. She's...
I am Queen Anora's handmaiden. She sent me here to ask for your help.
Or perhaps the young lady prefers to speak for herself.
Why would Anora ask us for help?
The Queen, she is in a difficult position. She loved her husband, no? And trusted her father to protect him. When he returns with no king and only dark rumors, what is she to think? She worries, no? But when she tries to speak with him, he does not answer. He tells her not to trouble herself.
Are you saying the queen believes Loghain killed Kaelin?
My queen suspects she cannot trust her father. And Loghain, he is very subtle, no? But when and how, he is privy to all the secrets and not so subtle. So she goes to how? A visit from the queen to the new Isle of Denrum is only a matter of courtesy. And she demands answers.
I guess that didn't go well.
He calls her every sort of name, traitor being the kindest, and locks her in a guest room.
Loghain would allow that?
King Kaelin was like a son to him, and Loghain left him to die. Does he love Anora more? Who can say? I think her life is in danger. I heard House say she would be a greater ally dead than alive, especially if her death could be blamed on Arl Eamon.
Would Loghain kill his own daughter just to frame Eamon?
We may have no choice but to trust Anora. The Queen is well loved. If Loghain succeeded in pinning her death on me, I'm not sure that's a risk we can afford to take.
Well, like I said, I'm gonna put them together, so... You're right, we have to help.
I have some uniforms. I'll hire so many new guards every day. A few more will not cause much stir. I will show you to the servants' entrance. We must slip in and out with my queen before anyone is the wiser. I will go ahead to House Estate. Meet me there as soon as you can.
Oh, Alistair's here.
I haven't been here in a while. They've changed the dining room.
Alright, so obviously I'm guessing all the juicy shit happens when I go to Arl's estate, correct?
As you wish.
What do you mean?
Let's get started.
Ugh, where's Leliana when you need her? Well, I guess when we level up, we'll get some lockpicking shit to get that chest. Hello, Leliana.
This is a nice change from having to sleep in the woods, isn't it?
Hey, Zev.
You know, I could get to like this. The last time I came to Denrim, I stayed at an inn so filthy the bedbugs had fleas.
And so here is the mighty Grey Warden at long last. The crows send their greetings once again. And where is Zevran? I don't see him with you. How very disappointing.
Can we get this over with?
Yes, by all means. I simply wish to say hello to an old friend.
Here I am, Taliesin. Tell me, were you sent, or did you volunteer for the job?
Oh ho! And he makes an appearance. I volunteered, of course. When I heard that the great Zevran had gone rogue, I simply had to see it for myself.
Is that so? Well, here I am, in the flesh.
You can return with me, Zevran. I know why you did this, and I don't blame you. It's not too late. Come back and we'll make up a story. Anyone can make a mistake.
Zevran doesn't need the crows any longer.
No? Does Zevran need to live?
I suspect I will manage just fine, Taliesin. I'm sorry, my old friend, but the answer is no. I'm not coming back. And you should have stayed in Antiva.
That's right, Zev. Let's go. We buddies. We homies. Okay, so he has to be with us, obviously. So, well, I'm just gonna go ahead and get rid of this trap. Or not. Yes, Zev, kick their fucking ass. Let's go. This bitch was dead. Uh-oh. 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 Oh, you can't. What's up, bitch? Fuck you too. Dude, Zev really did kick their ass.
And there it is. Taliesin is dead. And I am free of the crows. They will assume that I am dead along with Taliesin. So long as I do not make my presence known to them, they will not seek me out.
That's a good thing, right?
A very good thing. It is in fact what I had hoped for ever since you decided not to kill me. I have enjoyed our company, but I am wondering if it is not time for me to leave. That would be the practical thing to do, no? There is a freedom awaiting me that I have never known. But I suppose the decision is yours. Will you let me go?
Well, he gets to, he's not gonna die or anything, so don't you want to stay for the treasure?
Alright. You make a convincing argument. You do seem to stumble onto treasure on a regular basis somehow. Let us return to the task at hand, then. There is still much to be done, yes?
Lordship isn't seeing anyone. You'll have to come back tomorrow.
No, the Carpenter's Craft Hall has had enough of Hal's conveniently busy schedule. We will not be put off again.
Nor will the stonemasons. It's been a month since we've seen so much as a coin of Hal's for our work.
His lordship is much engaged with the region. He will hear your complaints as soon as he has the time. You're wasting.
And when will that be? At the dawn of the next age? Our people have families to feed. They can't wait forever on the Terran's whim.
His lordship.
The servants' entrance is on the other side of the house. We must slip past this crowd to reach it. We will have to be very careful. Our How is inside.
Alright, let's go.
I'll be right behind you. This way.
This way where, girl? You ain't... Okay, I guess we'll just go this way then. That's fine. We'll get some elf fruit on the way, I guess.
Warden senses.
Who the f... They're not even attacking me, like... Am I supposed to attack them? Is that... Okay. Alright. Moving on.
I can distract the guards, but you must move quickly.
Alright, let's go.
I will lure them into the courtyard. Wait in the bushes.
What the fuck could she possibly do? And aren't they gonna murder her ass? Alright, whatever. The bushes I go.
Oh, you must come. I saw something. By the fountain. I think it was a darkspawn.
Darkspawn?
They will drag us all underground to be eaten.
Should we call for help?
Did you fall off a cart full of stupid? Call for help? So they can see us act like scared little girls because of some knife-eared wench?
They will eat us all alive! Please, get help!
If there is something out there and we don't sound the alarm, we'll look worse than scared.
And drast these holy knickers. Fine, we'll check the courtyard, if it'll keep you from wetting yourself. But there's nothing there.
Thank you. Oh! It was over here! Quickly! Ah, it took me forever to be rid of those two. You are certain you will not wear the disguise? The servants here, they have no love for Hal, but they will be frightened by strangers bursting in. Andraste, guide us.
Wow. These look fucking impeccable. Especially when. Excuse me.
Try spending a few nights in a castle full of corpses sometime.
Maker's breath, and the village. If you could kill men by hating them, we'd all be in our graves now.
Yeah, because you guys suck. What the hell?
The Grey Warden is here, my lady.
Thank the Maker. I would greet you properly, but I'm afraid we've had a setback.
What sort of setback?
My host was not content with leaving me under heavy guard. He sealed the door by magic.
How do we open it?
Find the mage who cast the spell. He'll most likely be at Howe's side.
Fine, I'll be back soon.
Thank you, Warden. My prayers go with you.
Count Howe will probably be in his rooms. They're at the end of the hall, on the left.
It's always something. Can't just be easy.
The last door on your left.
Okay.
This should be easy enough.
The housekeeper will hear us.
Everyone's at dinner, don't worry.
In that case, come
Okay. I feel traumatized somehow. We all know. We all knew. We all knew. Okay.
What? Who goes there?
I thank you for creating such distraction, stranger. I have been waiting days for the opportunity. Do you think you could... Alistair? Is that you?
Who? Wait. I do know you. You were at my joining. He's one of us. A warden for Morlaix. Jada, I think. Or was it Montserrat? I'm afraid I don't remember your name.
I'm Riordan, senior warden of Jada, but born and bred in Highever, and glad to be home.
How did Arl Howe capture you?
With an offer of hospitality and a poisoned chalice. I was fool enough to think Loghain didn't yet know who I was.
Are these your papers?
Yes, these are my records. The names of the dead I could recognize at Ostagar. What I could find of Duncan's own recruitment records. Copies of the joining ritual I rescued from our Denerim vault. Those should never be seen by any outside eyes, but I trust in their encryption.
Joining ritual. Can you induct other Grey Wardens?
Would that I could, for Ferelden sorely needs them. But for the joining to work, the recruit needs not only fresh darkspawn blood, but a drop of blood preserved from an archdemon. Ferelden's supply should have been in the vault, but it was gone. I can only imagine someone took it out and Loghain either confiscated or destroyed it.
Then we need to get it back.
As you know, the joining's chance of success is slim anyway. Loghain has done far worse to the Wardens than cut us off from recruiting. And from the rumors flying through Denerim, removing him from the throne is already your plan, no?
Yes, it is. Where's Howe?
I saw him go into the dungeons. He may still be there.
Why don't you come with me?
I wouldn't be much use to you in my current condition. And if you'll pardon me, I've a sudden desire to breathe some free air. I will seek you out later, after I find a good physician. And good luck, sister.
Alright, homeboy. No worries. I'm guessing since they're red, they're probably gonna attack us regardless, so...
Who goes?
Oh, quit quitting around. You know me.
You think you're clever, do you? Anybody tries to come in here without Howe's say-so, we get to do what we like with them. I think we finally got a bit of entertainment here, lads.
Ah, bitch. I'll kick your ass.
Battle it is then.
What a bunch of hoes. Hey, that's one of our quests. Hey, buddy. Oh.
They said to retreat. The horn sounded and we turned, and then the screams. We rode and they screamed and screamed and...
Buddy, Okay. What do you mean retreat? Were you at Ostagar?
Mother, can you smell the blood? They said it was only Darkspawn. But we ate them too. They died, and we left them in the swamp. The witch. The witch!
He's obviously mad. I don't think you'll get anything more out of him.
You're Vexel, aren't you? Your family is looking for you.
No family. No family. All friends, all daughters, all wives are dead.
You know what? He's gonna die anyway. Right? So, I'll just let him go. You need to go home. Leave this accursed place.
Leave. Yes, leave. Find someplace safe.
Whatever. Stop punching the air, dude.
What month is it? Are you some enemy of Aurelians? Please, I feel like I've spent half my life down here.
Why were you in prison here?
The Arl's son. He abducted my bride on our wedding day. When I tried to rescue her, I don't remember. She was screaming and he was laughing and I charged at him. And woke up here. I don't know if she's even still alive.
Was this during the Elven Rebellion?
Rebellion? I know my kinsmen were unhappy with the Jarl, but I can't imagine a rebellion. There have been many changes since they caught me. I need to find out what happened. I need to get home, or flee the city. I thank you for your aid, stranger. I wish I had more than gratitude to offer.
No worries, bud. That must have been during the Elven... Why are you trying to punch me, bro? Anyway, that must be during the Elven origin story, I'm guessing.
Well, look here. Bryce Coustland's little Spitfire, all grown up and still playing the man. I never thought you'd be fool enough to turn up here. And then, I never thought you'd live, either.
But you're dead. Glad to disappoint you. Won't be the last time.
Is this about your family? Still? But I have done so much more than wipe your name from Ferelden memory. And what's left? A fool husk of a daughter, likely to end her days under a rock in the deep roads. Even the wardens are gone. You're the last of nothing. This is pointless. You've lost.
No shadows, no lies. Just you and me.
There it is. Right there. That damned look in the eye that marked every Coustland success that held me back. It would appear that you have made something of yourself after all. Your father would be proud. I, on the other hand, want you dead more than ever.
Enemies approaching!
Bitch, you gonna fucking die. That's all I gotta say. Alright, this might be a bad idea. And I might regret this. But, Blizzard time. Let's go. Bitch. Fuck you.
Make her spit on you. I deserved more.
Yeah, seems like the only other thing you could have deserved is someone pissing on your corpse, bro.
Maker, have mercy on your faith. Under us stay. Bride of the Maker, have mercy on me. Alstana, is that you, little sister? No, I don't know you, do I? Are you real?
Who are you?
I'm Erminric, Knight Lieutenant of the Denerim Chantry. You aren't one of the Tern's men?
He sounds like he's in lyrium withdrawal. He's got all the signs, confusion, weepiness. He probably doesn't even know what he's saying. If the Grand Cleric knew he were in here, she'd be spitting hot coals. Nobles don't have authority over Templars.
I failed in my duties, Maker. Forgive me. I failed, and there's no telling what he's done.
You're a Templar?
Alfstana is a far better man than I would have been, but I don't remember how I came to be here. The Malefica. He had turned blood magic upon Templars and Circle mages to escape from his tower. Near Redcliffe, I cornered him, but the Tern's men took him from me and brought me here.
This Maleficar, was his name Joan?
Yes. He destroyed his phylactery. We were spread out, trying to find him. I was alone. You are real, aren't you? My dreams are so strange now. Please, if you're not a dream, help me.
What do you want me to do?
Give this ring to my sister, Alstana. Tell her I'm sorry. Please, ask her to pray for me.
Okay, buddy. I'll do that for you. Alright, homie.
Who's there? Stay away. You can't do this to me. I'll have you all flayed. I'm the Arl of Denerim.
Arl Urian died at Ostagar. Who are you?
I'm Vaughan Kendalls, heir to the Arling of Denerim. It's true. Too many of our troops were lost at Ostagar. When the riots started, Howe came with men to reinforce the garrison here. Or that's what he claimed. As soon as I let him into the palace, he threw me in here. One more victim of the Elven uprising, he said. Let me out of here. I'll do anything.
You're the Arl's son that Elf mentioned.
In my room, there's a lockbox full of sovereigns. Free me, and the key is yours.
Give me the key first, then I'll open the door.
Here it is. Now please, hurry.
I think this guy's from the Elven origin story. And I looked it up, and he's a fucking rapist. So I'm gonna let him stay in there. Yep, thank you. Enjoy your stay in there.
What? You fat whore. Come back here. Let me out.
Yeah, nah. Ooh, very nice. There we go.
My thanks.
Nice outfit there. She is not short. Why are you dressed like that?
Because there are two sorts of people in this house. Those loyal to Howe, and those loyal to me. If Howe's people find me, I'll be killed. And my people will insist on escorting me back to the palace, where my father may also have me killed.
Is there a way? Is there a way? I don't think so. Alright, we're just gonna save, and if worse comes to worse...
Warden, in the name of the Regent, I am placing you under arrest for the murder of Rendon Howe and his men-at-arms. Surrender, and you may be shown mercy.
Well, I'm actually here to free Anora, who was held captive.
Don't be ridiculous. The Queen isn't being held prisoner here or anywhere else. Her father would never stand for such a thing.
Well, is she gonna say it, or is she not gonna say it? She's right here. Tell her, Anora.
What?
Sir Catherine! Praise the Maker you're here. This brigand tried to kidnap me.
What the hell? What?
Unbelievable. Bring them down! Loghain wants the Warden, dead or alive!
The hell?
You had it coming.
I'm just gonna let her die.
I can hold. Eamon, I may have done a terrible thing.
May have? How can there be any doubt?
What in Andraste's name has happened? Are you all right?
The wardens have been captured.
By Sir Calthrian, to whom our lady here handed us all on a platter.
What? How could this happen?
Never mind that. The question is how to free her.
Surely you mean them, Your Highness. We need Alistair too.
Yes, of course, I meant Alistair too. Calthrian will take her to Fort Draken. Getting in will be no small feat.
Wait, so that was supposed to happen? What the fuck is going on? What? This is a torture chamber. Okay. At least I look good.
Oh, you're awake. I was starting to worry.
Never seen a prison from this side before. Very scenic.
Join the Grey Wardens. See the sights from the floors of the best prisons in the land. It's not much of a recruitment slogan, is it?
It's a long story. It's not what you think it is. We're like in prison. But at least I look good. Well, the others are coming. Don't worry.
Who do you think will come?
Do I get to pick? I'm sure that Leliana will come for us.
Oh, I wish I could see that. One person assaulting Fort Draken all alone.
Morgan? Well, Morgan will probably come too.
I hope you're right.
Yep. Like...